So dreaming part 3. I'll go back into that. Clearing the gut brain, because that is the most important part of the dreaming body that processes everything. Other people will be talking about this course in Detox. There will be really long petrified waste strands from preservatives and GMO and negative food that you ate when you were a kid, or like when your parents are arguing, or there's a haunt employee that worked at a fast food restaurant and they projected things into their food, whether in awareness or not awareness. Most of them not in awareness. If you're haunted, you're usually not going to be aware that you're haunted. Just feeling bad all the time and making bad decisions. And then the haunted beings that are controlling that auric field, because they don't own themselves entirely, they can't control their programs, will be going into the food. And sometimes, like I've had, haunted food from fast food places that is full of negative connections that are timed to open up portals later on in the dream body experience of the gut, to make a portal to some hell realm or something, that portals in infinite numbers of demons that make it really annoying shitstorm of negativity and bad dreaming, and a layered process that makes it difficult to reclaim the dreaming body. But a learning experience all the same. And then that requiring a deep letting go ceremony, releasing of your internal waste and mucus around in the intestines, because that will house all the programs, negative things, fungi, Candida albicans that will go into spreading cancer if you don't get that. This is one of the forms of cancer. Parasites, worms, things that just will negatively affect your dreaming or shut down your dreaming, or where you don't remember any of it. It's not good. So if you're going cheap, $20 enema kits online you can buy, just to start releasing this through that ceremony and make it big. You can start monitoring how much you release. If there are any entities, they will be usually be anchored 99% of the time anchored into the gut. So if you release things and waste in the gut, you can like quarantine them into the waste and have that released out of you. And each time you do it, you get release more and more and more, because you're training. It's also releasing things that are taking up your energy, so that you use the energy that you got back towards making that ability better, so you release more and more and more, and a bunch of other stuff, and you're claiming your power. Releasing into the water, working with the consciousness of the water, so you're not like just thinking them as something to use. They're positive. They're gonna go through the experience and learn a whole bunch of things in what you do. There'll be contracted water elementals that'll be okay with that, and they can move in and out depending on what water you use. And it can be very high vibrational water, structured water, and it would amplify the situation quite dramatically how much you're able to release. Water goes through a process of going through really negative states and purifying it all the time. As soon as it goes back into the land and filters itself, they'll be fine, so don't worry too much about that. And if it gets too much for them, the spirit can leave the body of water and move to a different body of water. So, I'm just saying. You can get a candle going so that you can start using the fire as a way to amplify your releasal. You can have some crystals on your stomach or wherever around you, so that they can amplify the releasal process. Essential oils, things to make it a pleasant experience in the senses. Music is crucial, so that you can go into a meditative state, or either that or read. If you're doing a kalima, which you get a board and you lay that on a toilet and a chair, it makes it way more comfortable in the releasal process, and you can go deeper and faster into no time and release way more than you would otherwise. And it's one of the biggest ways to release things, honestly, even more so than fire ceremonies and other stuff that you could do when you get witchy into resolving your reality. But each thing is good at different stuff, so don't not use those, use everything. I really recommend people do this if they're wanting to be psychic, activated, psionic, go into their abilities, remember past lives and stuff. This is crucial. If you're not doing this at least once a month, and if you got a lot of stuff to release, you might be able to have to do days in between, and do like a big fast, or like with soup or tea and liquids, to get to the dark black stuff that you have deep in the gut and the organs, the liver. And if you start this process once and stop, and if you have a bad liver, you need to keep going, otherwise you'll get sick, because you're releasing the toxins into the gut, and then they'll make you easier to be sick. So if you're starting a liver cleanse, you got to do a bunch, so that you can make sure you get rid of any toxins that will try to make you sick. That's a big important thing. You can release the Hell Realm Way portal system, so that nothing can portal into your gut. You can release negative programs. You can start, after you release a lot of the really bad stuff, you can also start healing your spirit and releasing negative things from your hologram, and compacting that into the waste as it moves through your system, and make that a big part of your everyday living, so that every time you take a crap, it heals and changes your timeline really well. Colonics I also recommend. If you don't want to do it yourself, you can go to a professional and get deeper than most ways you'll do it. Their hydrotherapy is a really good way to get your dreams back. So that's another way to do it. Do recommend that highly. If you're not doing this and you're being psychic, you're not really doing the inner work as much as you could, and you might be painting a perception of facade. So make sure you do this work every so often, and continually, and not just stop and not do it for a few months, because it will build up every time you eat something. Whether it be GMO or a really healthy organic, can still have a negative impact in your gut, especially if it's really hard to clean everything in your gut unless you do a lot. So people have pulled out big strands of just black stuff, and it's oh my gosh, it took them 7, 8, 9 days, or continuously doing one each day. And sometimes it'll take that, especially depending on what your diet is, how you've been. You can lose a lot of weight by doing this. Parasite cleaning, good timing, especially, you should do. Thank you. If you like more of this type of subject, and the dreaming body clearing, please share this video, subscribe, comment your questions for more videos, and I'll love to get to them, and we can heal our dreaming body. Thank you.